Hey guys, in this video I'm going to introduce our new envelope tool. So I'm looking here at the Central Sydney Planning Committee setbacks from side and rear boundaries, and you can see there's a site boundary there with a 3 meter setback from the ground. This one goes up and then in and then up again, up to 45 meters, then in 6, then up. Um, but they can be compound, they can be, up 6, up 12, all manner of setbacks, including angles, including like a 45-degree. And the line defines an envelope. It's empty. There's nothing in it. It's the outside. It's what's permissible. A building then normally doesn't have to fill the entire envelope, but it can't come outside of the envelope is the idea. And this is how the city controls privacy. In this instance, both buildings have windows, as opposed to a commercial building with windows, i.e., no one lives in this building. It's allowed to be closer, so it's controlling, so people don't go to the bathroom and have a conversation with their neighbor at the same time, as well as solar impact and I guess the shape, the feel of the city is often controlled by the envelopes. Like this street wall of 25 or a street wall of 45 meters high has a different feel. So this is really it's starting to be the design of form. Even in the suburbs, like if your setbacks from your front yard are 6 meters or 12 meters, is a different feel. Same with side setbacks. So in Giraffe, this is very Giraffe-y. So we create a geometry, and then we enable the envelope, and the parameters that we create in the envelope tool are going to sit on the geometry, right? So immediately the geometry sets to the default envelope parameters, and you can see there's a front, a rear, a side, a height and an inset, and that's the X and the Y, thinking in the section plane, up, in, up, in, up, in. And then there's also this side selector. So you can see I can select this is the front or this is the front, and you can see the whole envelope changes each time. And that's if automatic mode is clicked, then the algorithm is trying to guess what the rear and the sides are. So I'm going to turn that off, because in this instance, we've got two frontages, Castle Red or Elizabeth, two frontages. So let's select both as front. Okay, and here's street. So I'm assuming this is a front. So let's say you go up 25 and in 6. But you do it in two moves. It's not a straight line. It's not the hypotenuse, like from, up and in. It's up and then in. So you do the uppy bit and then you do the inny bit. So in our envelope tool, you have to do the same thing. So up 25 and in 0, up, and then up 0, but in 6. And now nothing's happened because the height of this, our height here is set to 10. So I'm going to set that to 190. And lo and behold, we have up and in. Now you can see there's a very small slope here. So if I made that 55, you would see that's an angled setback. But in this case, once you've gone up and in, you're allowed to go to the height. So I'm just going to delete that one. And there we've got the up and the in. All right, but let's do our side boundary. And let's say we're going to do this kind of a side boundary. And you see, Giraffe doesn't really help you to know whether you're a D42, a D43, or which is the appropriate one. It just makes you turn this 2D diagram into a 3D object. So let's add an additional up and in for the side. So you go up 25 in 6, then you go up to 45, so 20, and then in a further 6. So let's go to the sides. So we'll go 25 and 0, and then 0 and 6, the inny bit. Then let's do another uppy bit. So we're going to make these absolute numbers, so you just type in the heights, like the top RLs, but for now, they're relative. So to get to 45, you have to go 25 and then 20. And then you're going up, so you're just staying flat. And then you're going up 0, and you're going in 6. So up, in, up, in. Now, sadly for our site owner over here, once you go in 6 from both sides, because this thing is only 19 meters, you're cooked. You're cooked, as in because it's adding to 12 meters in from both sides, so it's 24 meters, so there's nothing left. So let's assume we've bought both sides, right? And we're consolidating. There you go. All right. Now let's copy this. This is where it gets fun because it's it's just a Giraffe geometry. We can just copy it. And let's do this one. Let's say we're doing this skinny side as well. But instead of doing a residential, which makes us have to go up and in, we're going to do a commercial, so we only have to go in 3. And we only have to go in 3 at 45 meters. So I'm going to delete all of that and the lamp. So our up is 45 and our in is 3. Right, and so you can see Giraffe has now made this section. Like, isn't that cool? Okay, so that, see if I can get both. This up, in, up, and, sorry, this up and this up, in. Oh, sorry, I've merged these 2 diagrams. I wonder if I can find, I can't. But, this is the same section in 3D, and you can see the front setbacks, which you don't see in this section. You have to, go to a different diagram, are combined into this beautiful 3D envelope, which is really cool. And you can see the commercial use does work on a skinny lot, whereas obviously if you went in 12, sorry, that's on the front. Let's go to the side. If you went in 12, you lose any ability to go higher than 45 meters. So a very quick analysis of what's going on. And of course, because they're Giraffe geometries, you can do the sun and see what's going on. If you're the planner, if you're trying to figure out, is this the right control? So we could then say, well, let's drop these to 120 height plane. Keep the same setbacks, 120. Okay, so now let me just do a residential one. So fairly well city center and welcome the suburbs. Okay, yeah, good verbs, good verbs. All right, and I'm going to do this from memory. The CDC, the Complying Development Control in New South Wales, I think the front setback is 0.6. You've just got to come in 6 from the front, and that's you. That is absolutely, and then you can go 20, 0. And I think your max height is, let's say it's 9. Okay. And we've got to figure out what the front is, which is that. Okay, so there's our 6 and up. Now, from the rear, I think it's 0, 6, 4.5, 9, something like that. Sorry, not there, there. And you see here, I shortcut it, so it's 4.5, so 0, 6, so, and then you got to go up, and then you got to go 0 in, and you got to go 9. Well, let's say it's 12, so 6 plus 6 is 12, something like that. And now I've lost my front. There we go. Okay, so we've got our front setback and we've got our rear setback, and now our sides, which are these 2 boys, they go from 0, they go 0.9 in, and then they go 4.5 in, up rather, and then they go at a 45-degree angle from 45 up to 9. So I'm going to go 4.5, 4.5. That's going to take us up to a 45-degree angle. And we get this envelope. Now it's just not rendering that closed. Oh well, I had it for a brief second. On mouse up, it's ruining that render, so we'll fix that. But this now becomes the compliant envelope. So if you fit into this envelope, then you're allowed to, there's an accelerated development pathway. And this works, I think the theory is that it works across the entire state, as opposed to being like city by city controls. So you can see kind of 2 uses of the envelope tool, one at a low density suburban scale, and then one at a much larger scale. And this thing's super stretchy, and kind of robust. So the front, we can be quite, sorry, let's not keep the front, and the rear. So say I had an orthogonal block, I could make those things the rear, and it's robust to that sort of change, right? So the guys have done a great job in making this thing as strong as possible. Let's see how strong we can make it. So keep the front the front. Let's say we've got like a 6-sided block, and this is all side. You know, that's still working. There's some sort of rendering issues, but it's still workable. And how I would work it is I would fade this back, and then on a new drawing layer, I would do my house, and I'd pop these guys onto an envelope layer, which I already have. I'll probably lock that thing, fade it back even more, and then I would be drawing my my house. And you can see there quite clearly where you pop in and out, and how you're going to have to design the house to be compliant with this envelope. Make roof. How good is that? Now here we go. We're operating at the suburban scale. So a bit of work to do, but a pretty exciting tool, I think. Yeah, can't wait to see how you guys use it.